Hey everybody, I'm your man Dennis Pitzenbarger, SEMA 2019 Power Automedia. I'm in the Bilstein booth with my man Chad Cassad, and you guys got some great new stuff cooking here in the booth.
Yeah, we have some great new high-end products for the 4Runner and the new Jeeps, and I'd love to tell you about it.
All right, Shane, let's start with the 4Runners. They're already a great vehicle. They got TRD Pros floating all over the place, but you guys have something special for them.
Yes, we do. We have a new position-sensitive technology for the front coilover. It's called zone control. What it does is it actually has a hydraulic bump stop inside the shock, as well as a hydraulic rebound stop on the downstroke, so it'll catch you after a big impact. And on the rear, we have a two-tube position bypass where you can have 100% adjustability between rebound and compression. And it's also position sensitive with a hydraulic stop internally. So it really takes your 4Runner up to the next level, not only for on-road, but specifically for off-road and specifically for like all the overland type activity that you can do out there these days.
What is going to be the result for that customer in the seat with this on their new 4Runner? What are they going to feel? What are they going to notice?
What you're going to notice right off the bat, whether it's on-road or off-road, is the 4Runner has a tendency to be very nibbly. That's going to go away. It's going to really smooth out. It's going to kind of decelerate a lot of the noise that I'd like to say. And if you're driving along on let's say a dirt road, and if something comes out of nowhere, like a big ditch or a gully, and you hit it, it's just going to soak that thing right up. So it's going to be a lot safer. It's going to be a lot more fun to drive.
Talk a little bit more about that adjustability. That is always the magic in shocks. Now, whether it's racing, off-road, or anywhere in between, that's the magic that goes in it, is the adjustability. Talk about that specifically.
Well, in the bypass shock, it has these external tubes. It has a valve that has 10 turns. And when it's all the way open to closed, it's literally 100%. So it's a massive adjustment. It's not like just some little clicker that you just feel a little bit of it. But what's great about it is when you buy it, it comes and set in the middle. And if you want to soften it up or stiffen it up, it's very easy to do. And also if you're carrying a load, if you've got different, if you got a roof tent, you've got some stuff in the back of your 4Runner, you're able to kind of dial that in and mellow the vehicle out. So it really gives you, the driver, the perfect weapon for you to really get exactly what you want out of the suspension.
Now, I don't want to start a battle because I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that would argue whether the 4Runner or the Jeep is a better off-road vehicle, but you've got solutions for both. Let's talk about the new systems you also have for the JT and the JL drivers.
Now, the JT and the JL, very, very exciting new vehicles, especially the JT with the pickup truck bed. But basically, Jeeps really upped their game on the vehicle. It's almost as nice as a 4Runner to drive down the road. So can't get in the Toyota Jeep argument. Obviously, that's like, we don't want to go there, but on the Jeep, we do have a external bypass, two-tube position bypass, which are adjustable for front and rear, and we have two different lift height options available for that. And then also for a lower price point, we have a smooth body version, and these shocks are large diameter. We call them 60 millimeter. I think in the outside of Bilstein world, they're considered a 2.5 inch, so it's very big. It's really good at absorbing all kinds of impacts, whether it's on-road or off-road.
Now, one of the things I wanted to touch on is going back to the R&D with shocks. I mentioned that it's very like magic. What kind of R&D goes into a shock package like this? Because it's not the days of old where it was just a single piston, either didn't or did have a coil or a spring underneath the axle. Talk about the technology and the R&D that goes into developing these.
Well, there's quite a bit, and a lot of it has to do with just fitting it on. Now, these shocks that we're discussing are direct fit, so there's no modifications needed, there's no welding, so it's a direct fit application. They even have a 2-year warranty, which is awesome. But just fitting them in, these shocks are, like I said, a lot larger than stock, and especially when you have the bypass tubes. When the suspension's cycling around, we want to make sure that it's out of harm's way and nothing's going to hit it, so there's extensive R&D of just fitting them on. And then from there, we have on-road tests, off-road tests. Our R&D crew will spend a week out in the desert driving back and forth on road. So it's very extensive. When you get one of these Bilstein shocks, which it's actually called the 8100 series, there's the ultimate amount of testing that we could possibly do to make it the best product that you can buy and get your money's worth.
Lastly, what has been the response from the customers? You have to have been talking to them either here or back at the shop. What is the response from the customer in the end game of them being installed and the customer saying, this is what I got?
That's kind of, that actually feels good because we put a lot of time into it, but essentially it's just someone out, they put the suspension on, put the shocks on, and they're just loving their car. They're just having a lot more fun, they're not getting beat up, and it's just a way better setup.
All right, Shane, if people out there are looking for a great package for their 4Runner or their new Jeep, where do we send them?
BilsteinUS.com.
You heard the man, SEMA 2019.